In 2015, the Bretzius family from Auburn, Pennsylvania, decided to insulate their home. For most people, home renovations are ordinary. But what the Bretzius family discovered exceeded all expectations. While dismantling the old walls, they found that the house had already been insulated, with dozens of animal corpses. The carcasses, carefully wrapped in newspapers from the 1930s and 1940s, were placed between the wooden beams, as if deliberately positioned there decades ago. Along with the remains, there were spices and herbs, giving the discovery an even more mysterious and eerie appearance. The family sent the remains for examination to determine their origin. Experts concluded that they could be related to historical rituals. Among the possible sources were both Native American powwow ceremonies and the practices of Dutch settlers who settled in Pennsylvania in the 17th, 18th centuries. In these cultures, many rituals involved animals. Sometimes they were related to protecting the home and family, sometimes to curing illnesses, finding water, or ensuring success in daily life. Animals were considered intermediaries between the human world and the spiritual realm, and their deaths under certain circumstances could be seen as magically significant. However, as historians note, not all rituals were harmless. There were darker practices, including sacrifices and spells aimed at gaining power, protection from enemies, or even worshipping demons. Particularly disturbing are accounts of how settlers trained dogs for loyalty. They would add human or canine blood to their food. It was believed that consuming such food strengthened the animal's devotion to its owner. Today this seems cruel and even grotesque, but at the time, such actions were part of the magical tradition and belief system, where blood was considered a source of power. Interestingly, the newspapers found with the carcasses provide historical context. They indicate that the animals were placed in the walls, not by accident, but as part of a specific ritual. The spices used to wrap the corpses likely had symbolic meaning, either protecting the home and its inhabitants or imbuing the animals with magical power. Scholars note that such discoveries are extremely rare, and most homes built during that period do not contain such ritual walls. This makes the Bretzius house unique and simultaneously a grim monument to the history of local beliefs and practices. This story is not only terrifying but also makes one reflect on how deeply magic and ritual were integrated into the everyday lives of early American settlers and indigenous peoples. For modern people, it seems strange and savage, but for people of that time, these practices were part of their belief system, a way to protect themselves, train animals, and interact with nature. The animal-filled walls of the Bretzius house became a kind of window into the past, a world where life and death intertwined with magic and where even the